Hello everybody, my name is Gunwoo and I'll be talking about Mark Twain. Mark Twain, an author from the 19th century who wrote adventure stories, was born on November 30th, 1835 in Florida, Missouri, to John and Jane Clemens. His given name was Samuel Clemens. Sam had three brothers, Orion, Benjamin, and Henry, and two sisters, Pamela and Margaret. John, his father, worked on making railroads and steamboats. Sam's family moved to Hannibal, Missouri because John was having business troubles which put the family into a state of poverty. In Hannibal, Sam and his friends would leave town to play games like pretending to be Indians. They dug for treasure, collected turtle eggs on the Mississippi River, and explored smokehouses, stables, and tobacco curing houses. Because Sam's father was having so many business troubles, his wife, Jane, took the children to Uncle John Carl's farm. Uncle John Carl's was Jane's brother. When Sam was living with Uncle Carl, Sam ate fried chicken, roast pig, turkey, rabbit, feastin, biscuit, cake, corn, buttermilk, dumpling, cobbler, fruits, and vegetables. Sam did not want black people sold on slave markets because he thought all people should have equal rights. Sam read books about classics, poetry, history, astronomy, and geography. Because he loved reading, he went to work for the Missouri Courier, Hannibal's newspaper. There, he learned how to hand-set words. As Sam was reading books, he decided to write an article about Hannibal. When the people of Boston and Philadelphia read his article, the newspaper paid him. This was his first success as a journalist. A journalist is a person who writes for newspapers or magazines or prepares news to be broadcast or on radio or television. As a journalist, Sam traveled to New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C., visiting many printing offices. As Sam traveled around the U.S., he dreamed of going to the World's Fair in New York. After many trips as a journalist, he decided to become a ship pilot. A ship pilot is a person who is licensed to conduct the ship into and out of port or through dangerous waters. After becoming a ship pilot, Sam memorized all the names of islands and towns between New Orleans and St. Louis. Henry, his brother, decided to become a ship pilot too on another boat. Henry died when the Pennsylvania, the boat he was working on, exploded. Sam was depressed because of the accident. Sam worked for Territorial Enterprise and he earned $25 per week for his writing. There, Sam changed his name to Mark Twain. In fact, Mark Twain means the boundary between water deep enough and water too shallow for a steamboat. If the numbers called out by the leadsman were increasing, all was clear sailing. But if the numbers were going down, Mark Twain was an ominous warning to head for deeper, safer water. After working for Territorial Enterprise, he worked at Sacramento Union, writing many articles about Hawaii after his visit in Hawaii. When Sam came back to California, he wrote his first book, The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras Country, and other sketches. On February 2nd, 1870, he married Livy Langdon, daughter of Jervis Langdon. After the marriage, they moved to Hartford, Connecticut to live there. In 1870, their first child, Langdon, was born. In 1872, after Susie, their second child was born. Langdon died because of diphtheria, a bacteria that causes fatal heart and nerve damage. In 1874, Clara, their third child, was born. In 1879, Jean, their fourth child, was born. At Hartford, he wrote many books. The books that he wrote were The Innocents Abroad, Life on the Mississippi, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Adventures of Tom Sawyer, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, The Prince and the Pauper, A Tramp Abroad, and Around the Equator. In 1893, the stock market crashed and the economic crisis that followed destroyed Mark's business investments. He had to pay many outstanding debts. Because of this economic problem, Mark decided to travel around the world and tell his stories. He went to Cleveland, Australia, New Zealand, Ceylon, India, and South Africa. As he traveled around the world, he wrote a book called Following the Equator. When Mark arrived back from his journey, he paid all his debts with the money he earned telling his stories. Mark Twain was famous because he had many readers during his life. For example, the author Rudyard Kipling, the sculptor August Rodin, King Edward VII's brother King Arthur, and the Prime Minister of England all read Mark Twain's books. On April 21st, 1910, Mark Twain died from angina pectoris, a heart condition. I admire Mark Twain because when he was young, even though he did not attend school, he still read many books and used what he read for his own writing. I am astounded because Mark Twain wrote many books that interested children. For example, Adventures of Tom Sawyer was a success because Mark created characters for the book who were very familiar to his friends and his family. Bye-bye, everyone.